What's up, everybody? This is Jonathan Dorn, CPA. I am a licensed CPA in the state of Florida. This is what the state of Florida sent to me. State of Florida Board of Accountancy, Certified Public Accountant, Jonathan N. Dorn. That is me. So yeah, this is me. I just want you to know that I have passed my tests. Have got my license, but basically I just want this to be my CPA exam experience. Let's start off that I went into community college at age 31 and had this dream of being a CPA. Took me 6.5 years. When I was 37 and a half, I got my license on January 29th, 2015. I'm a licensed CPA in the state of Florida. So, it's never too late to have that dream of doing it. And I just want to say I ended up failing 4 exams. I ended up passing the 4 exams in the 18 months. So I just want to give my exam history here, the trials, the tribulations, and I'm just going to try to relive it through this video. Anyways, so in college, I went back to school very late, 31, and I think I graduated when I was 35 maybe. I went to Broward Community College, transferred over to FAU, Florida Atlantic University, Boca Raton, Florida. I live in Fort Lauderdale. Anyways, I graduated college. I struggled. I think I ended up with like a 2.7, 2.8. I struggled. I don't know what I can say. It doesn't come easy to me. Some things do come easy. I'm fast with numbers. I think I'm a people person, but accounting, straight accounting, all the stuff that's on the FAR exam never came easy to me. First, so I graduated. I got to sit for the CPA exam, and I studied for about 2 months, I think from November and December. I studied for a FAR exam, my first exam, and I had no idea what to expect. I used a bunch of different sources of information, but I wasn't working, wasn't doing anything. I was just studying. I took the FAR exam first, and I ended up I took that in January. I ended up getting a 73 on my first one. So I failed it. I was 0 for 1 at this point. And I actually felt fine about it. I just didn't want to put everything I had into this and get like a 40 or a 50. Like, honestly, I tried my hardest. I studied a lot. I studied really hard, and I was close. So I knew that I can do it. But right after they let me sit for the exam, I knew I was going to do this. I knew I was going to pass this. Failure was not an option. You only fail if you stop. It's just a setback. So it's just a setback. So after I got a 73, I was feeling okay on the FAR. Then I went and I worked a season as a tax preparer at H&R Block. I learned a lot. So April 15th came around, and I thought, oh, well, I will. I'll take tax. I'll take the REG exam now because I just did tax, so I should be good at that. I think I studied for that for about a month and a half. wasn't working, and I just got too complacent on this exam. You know, I would study for 5-6 hours a day, times 7. So I'd study for like 40 hours a week, and I do the same multiple choice questions. And I thought, I thought I was gonna pass. I'm a tax guy. Ended up taking reg. I got a 68 on it. So now I'm 0 for 2. Now, it was tough. It was tough because, I don't know, along the way of this whole process of getting a college degree, being a CPA, I always question, am I smart enough? Can I do this? I was 0 for 2, and I just buckled up, and, I signed up for reg again. I think I was going to take it in, I think, another 5 or 6 weeks. And this time, I didn't worry about studying so many hours. I just studied as much as I could till my brain was about to explode. I believe I started really incorporating exercise in here. That's why the name of the channel is CPA Strength, because I lifting weights has changed my life for the positive in so many ways, and I think it helped me focus in on passing the exam. But I got a little smarter on my study strategies, authoritative literature, and whatnot. So I ended up taking reg, and I got an 83 on it. My first victory, and whew, did that feel good? That felt good, and so then I think in a month later, or 6-8 weeks later, I was gonna take the BEC. And I just studied my butt off for the BEC, and ended up getting an 83 on that. So now I was 2 for 2. Now I was feeling pretty confident, and I have 3 other videos that I put back on the YouTubes. I was feeling pretty confident. I was 2 for 2, 2 for 4 now. I had 2 wins. And so I wanted to start making some YouTube videos. But what happened was I started just thinking about what YouTube video I'm going to make, and instead of the studying. And I had to put everything away, and I had this laser focus of the CPA exams. Once after I failed the reg the first time I took it with a 68, I just was like, nothing mattered. I just study and do more multiple choice questions. I didn't care. I had a schedule. I didn't do anything. I studied and lifted weights, and I got it over with. But anyways, I took those YouTube videos down because I stopped kind of doing social media, and I was just in the zone. So after I got the second win, the BEC of an 83, I went and took auditing, and I ended up passing that one with an 81, which was weird because I thought, well, I took BEC and I didn't think I did that good. Well, you don't really know. I didn't really know about the written communication that much. I didn't think I did that great, and well, I ended up getting an 83, which was good for me. What do they say? I want a 99, but I'll take the 75. Where was I? Fuck. Sorry. I lost my train of thought. I'm going on the cuff here. But I ended up getting 83. I took auditing and I thought, oh man, I thought I nailed auditing. I thought, like, man, I'm going to get like a freaking 90. I ended up getting 81. So, I don't know, you just can't really tell. But anyways, now, when I passed all these 3 exams, I think I passed REG, BEC, and auditing within like 4 or 5 months. I wasn't doing anything, I wasn't working. I was just studying. I don't have a kid. Had a girlfriend at the time. Didn't really see her, but every 3 weeks. That kind of hurt the relationship. But I was tunnel visioned into this. I passed the auditing, so I was past 3 in a row, man. I was feeling pretty sure of myself. And I think I had, because you have 18 months to pass everything, so I had maybe, I don't know, like a year before anything would expire. So at this point, I'll go into maybe on a different video or something about, you gotta find a job and have a CPA sign it within so much time of passing the exams, but I need to look for a job. So I needed to find a job with a CPA there to sign off on me. So I ended up finding a job with a CPA. I worked there. CPA was the owner, actually. And I started working there January, just a few months later after I passed the audit exam. I started working as accountant, tax preparer, and I got that job. I got the job in December. Didn't start till late January, so I thought I'll start studying for FAR. So I was studying for FAR. Then I started working, and it was just a really stressful job. A lot of things were going on with work. I remember I took FAR, my first redo of FAR exam after I was working at my new tax preparer, at a CPA office. I think I was working there 3 weeks. Prepared my first corporate tax return, and then that was on a Friday, and the Saturday I had the redo with FAR. I ended up getting a 73 on that one. So yeah, I was 2 points away from passing everything, and it really sucked. Through the one of the hardest things I believe is when people that are close to you, they just assume that you're going to pass. So they say, but you studied. You didn't study? And you're like, yeah, I studied my butt off, but I still failed it. Don't listen to people who don't take the test. They don't know. Shit's tough. I don't know how else to say it. It's, big accomplishment for me. So I went through. After that, I finished. That was like, I think I failed with another 73 in FAR. Remind you, all I gotta do is pass FAR. I think I got about 8 months left before stuff starts expiring. Now I'm having to work, late hours, some overtime during tax season. So I said I'm just gonna do tax season. After tax season, I'll start studying again for FAR. So that happened, about I think, a couple week after April 15th, I started studying for FAR again. And mind you, this was really the first time I was studying while I was working. So that was tough. I was get up in the morning, work all day, come home, get a quick lift in at home, 45 minutes, study for 2 hours, weekend study. So, I was just doing questions, just studying my butt off. This time, I took the exam on a Saturday again. I took a Friday. I took the Friday off from work, and so I think I retook it in June or July. Failed with a 71. Yeah. So now I'm getting worse on the FAR, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm ever going to do it or not. At this point, I don't know if I'm ever going to do it. Stuff's going to start expiring on me. I just, it's another one of those points where I just said, fuck it, man. I'm going to do this shit. I'm going to fucking do it. I don't fucking care, and I'm going to do it. And I retook it again in August, September. I'm not sure when the blackout months are, but studied. Took a couple months later, going to work all the time, and I ended up getting a 78 on the FAR. It was the fourth time I took FAR. I don't know, but anyways, I might have gotten some of these mixed up, but it was a long process, but I think it was totally worth it for me. I can just remember, I passed all the exams, and I couldn't believe it. I set my mind to it. Some people didn't think I could do this. I wasn't sure all the time. I wanted to give up a lot of times. Don't ever give up. You can do this. I hate how people say, oh, anybody can do it. If I did it, anybody can do it. No! Not everybody can do this. If you want it, you can do it. You gotta want it. You can't pass this for somebody else. But anyways, so I ended up passing all 4 exams. I finally passed FAR. That was the beast. So I worked the rest of the year at my job for my work experience, and I got I went on the state website like January 30th, I believe, a Saturday morning, and I looked and sorry, I was a licensed CPA in Florida, and I remember driving down the road. I remember where I was the road a few hours after I got the news that I was a CPA, and it was 6.5 years of just release, and I broke down and I cried. It was a deep moment in my life, and I guess the main takeaway is if you want to be a CPA and your state board lets you sit for the CPA exam, you can do it. Didn't come easy to me. I didn't get the 95s and 99s. I barely squeaked by. But am I a CPA? Do I have a license? Do I put that at the end of my name now? Yes, I do. So anyways, that's about it for now. If you've made it this far, awesome. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, CPA Strength. I'm going to combine my love of accounting and taxes, business, auditing, CPA stuff, and I'm going to combine it with strength. I'm trying to be the strongest CPA in America. I'm working on Florida. So, peace.